Hey everybody, this is Tony, and I'm back today with Miss Barbara Carlyle. How you doing today?
I'm fine. It's raining, but I'm fine. I'm living. I'm above ground. Every day
I
above
know
ground.
that's right. I know that's right. Now, of course, Miss Barbara, we were talking about your wonderful career, some of the ups and the downs. But you said in our initial part one that you started off as an actress. Now, what about movies? Once you got started in your career, or even now, are you interested in doing some of that kind of things, or are you doing some of those things now?
Yes, I did start out as an actress, and like I said, I always got the lead role whenever it was a comedy, and I've always had a wit. And I was good for the shade and the comeback. But at one of our productions, Gordon Parks happened to be in town. He's deceased now, but Gordon Parks is a well-known photographer, and he did some motion pictures. He did the Learning Tree, and the show that I was, the movie that he was filming in Savannah was Solomon Northup's Odyssey.
Okay.
So he was invited by my drama coach, Dr. R.L. Robert Louis Stevenson, to Savannah to attend our play. And he came, and he liked some of us in the play, and I happened to be one of the people he liked, and he offered me a principal role. And so even though I only had one line, I was getting paid more than the extras, so that was good for me.
Right.
Solomon Northup's Odyssey was about a free man who was sold into slavery for 12 years.
Okay.
Now, the movie came out later. It's known to people today as 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, wow, okay.
But the original was Solomon Northup's Odyssey. And Solomon Northup was a fiddler up in New York. And like I say, he was kidnapped and sold into slavery, and he was there for like 12 years before he regained his freedom. But I played, I was a house slave.
Okay.
But, I was a house slave. But I had the one line, and, I practiced that line all night. My line was, I sure could use some help in the kitchen. And every time I said it, I would mess up the line, because I do, like, the first time I said it, he said, cut, you're hollering. We got microphones out here. You don't have to talk a lot, but see, I've never been in a movie. And, on stage, you have to project your voice.
Correct.
So that's what I was doing. I wasn't talking in a normal tone like I'm talking like now, so I'm like, I sure could use some help in the kitchen. The night before, I had been practicing. I sure could use some help in the kitchen. I sure could use some help in the kitchen. I use some help in the kitchen. Trying to see how I was going to do it. Now, the second time he I was the lady who was the main character, who was the the mistress of the whole plantation. Okay. She was sitting in front of me, and I was supposed to come down and deliver the line, because what she was doing was trying to comfort the new slave that they had brought in, to let her know it would be all right to be at this new plantation. So the lady was standing in front of me when it was time for me to say my line. So I'm peeping around her so the people on the camera could see me. And he had to call cut again. Cut. You can't be leaning over trying to look around. I said, but she's blocking me. And I know you wanted to say, you ain't that important. All you need to just deliver your line and let's be done with it. But I eventually got it right. And
right. Of course.
I've wanted to be in other movies, and you know, I don't know how true this is, but I had gotten a call from a promoter in Tampa and Giorgio, and he had called and said, "Oh, I meant to tell you, DJ Pooh was trying to get your number." And I'm like, DJ Pooh, as in DJ Pooh from Friday?
Right.
He was like, yeah, he called me and asked me, did I know how to get in touch with you? But I didn't want to give him your number because I didn't think you wanted me to give him your number. And my you was livid. I was like, what is wrong with you? I could have been in the Friday. How could you start my number up? But anyway, I don't know if it were true, if DJ Pooh really was looking for me, or if Giorgio was just telling one of the many lies he always told. But anyway.
Right.
You know, promoters, they always lie. But anyway, yes, I've always wanted to be in movies, or if I could, have a sitcom or be a part of a TV show or a special or something like that. But, you know, it wasn't in the cards, or it isn't in the cards right now. But, you know, never say never. You never know what might happen. So.
Right, absolutely. And speaking of you know, of acting, I'm just surprised that people or, you know, producers or whomever wouldn't have try to write roles for you or even, you know, offer them to you. Not saying that, you know, they have to offer roles to everybody, but just your comedic timing, you know, especially in imagine in something like Friday where you have a whole movie full of comedians almost. So I'm surprised at that, but.
You have to take into consideration that access to people wasn't as prevalent as it is now. I mean, I had management that kept my name out there, you know, and people wouldn't know how to get in contact with you or whatever. And then by the time, you know, the movie industry moved over here to Atlanta, you got so many actors and comedians and singers and models and everybody trying to break in. But,
that's true.
You know, I mean, like I say, it is what it is. I mean, I was still blessed. I was still taping shows. I was still having great shows. I was going overseas a lot, and I just stayed busy, you know. It was something I loved, has kept me, you know, constantly able to survive. Just basically telling jokes, you know.
Right, right.
So everybody ain't made to be super famous, whatever. And I wanted to be my name to be a household name, but I didn't want to be where if I went outside, I got to worry about somebody. You know, I got to have a bodyguard, have this. But I did enjoy the fact that somebody came, oh, that's Lorraine Redwood. Oh, that's some hair. Oh, what you doing? That kind of stuff. But, yeah.
Right.
You know, we have to be, you know, have that little bit of notoriety. And, you know, I had my fair share. And as long as I'm able to continue to do comedy and bring laughter to somebody, I'm cool with it. You know, as long as I can live and keep a roof over my head, keep food in the kitchen, and be able to support my daughter's habits. I don't know when she thinks she's going to be old and don't have to take anything. I'm okay, you know?
I know that's right. And speaking of jobs, was comedy the only job that you've pretty much done?
No, I started out after college, you know, even though comedy has been the only constant thing that I've done, but I've had hand in several, you know, little parts. I was working on a provisional toward teaching, and so I tried teaching for a little while. But when I moved in 1986, I just, centered myself around comedy. I was working for an oil company for the longest as a like data entry kind of, secretarial kind of thing. And,
okay.
But I was still doing the comedy.
Right.
Then in 1988, at the age of 30, I had a brain fart, or I had a midlife crisis or whatever, and I decided to join the Marine Corps.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, at 30 with a college degree, and I had to get an age waiver to go into the military, and they lied to me and told me that, they would give me an age waiver after boot camp to go into officer candidate school because, I had a degree already and whatever, but that was just to get me the quota and get me in. I did get the age waiver to go in, and I didn't get to go to officer candidate school. So I had chosen, they had asked, they always ask you, what did you want to, what job did you want? And I was already in communication. That was my minor, and my major at Savannah State was English language and literature, and with a minor in mass communication. So I told them, I said, well, I was in communications, and they were like, okay, you can go, you can be a radio operator. So I'm thinking, radio operator. I'm thinking, I could be a DJ.
Yeah.
It was totally different. A radio operator is the one that calls in the, firepower for when we're attacked or whatever. We do the lines of communication. Mm-hmm. So I had to end up going to 29 Palms, California, which was a treat because, once we were out there in school, we went to, we used to go to Palm Springs all the time. So I used to love it. And I didn't like the desert, being out there in that desert, but, it was an experience, I tell you, being in the Marine Corps. And God knew what he was doing because, with there being a stall in my career, the pandemic, I can fall back because I ended up I was a reservist. I was never active duty. And I ended up to Desert Storm. And so because of Desert Storm, I'm able to get a disability check. So that has basically kept me going when I haven't been able to get out and do comedy. So I'm pretty much straight for right now,
Yeah.
That's why I'm and I have nothing against any of the other performers or any other people who have a job and need to get back because they got to pay their bills, they got to keep up their form of living. I can say I'm not in a hurry to get back out there. I called me the other day. As a matter of fact, quite a few people have called about doing shows in June, July, and I told them, well, no, I'm not ready to get back out there yet. I'm not going to rush it. I want to see, how things progress.
Right.
It's not that I think I'm too good to do it. Health-wise, I'm not safe with everybody being in a rush to get back out, amongst people. And I can't imagine standing on stage with a mask on and looking at people with masks on. It's just, no. I don't think things will ever be back to the way they were.
Right.
But I would rather it get to the point where I would feel safe walking around without having to worry about, am I going to get something, and I know people can say, well, you could have got something a long time ago, you could have got something, but this is something totally different. This has affected the whole world. And I
exactly.
Too many people got too many get well quick solutions for me. So I'm gonna a little monkey butt in the house, go make my little trip to the grocery store or whatever, and and this a time like this and during this pandemic, it has shown me that this is the way I feel. I feel like, and I'm not saying God caused this, I'm saying God allowed this to happen so that people could not be out here worshiping everything else besides Him.
Right.
Right. We were into the sports. We were into the buying of this and that, and we had so much time for everybody and everything but Him.
Exactly.
So now families are back at home. They're cooking. You got to sit up your kids. There's schoolwork. You got to be around your family. And some people just cannot even handle that,
Exactly. That's true.
And they're like, I'm tired of being in the house. You tired of being in the house? Ain't nobody there but your family. I mean, I understand you getting bored, whatever. I know the kids are in and out of the refrigerator. I know you probably don't know how to do that. But you're with your family. And this is the time to sit down and really know your kids. But, people are still there. If they're working from home, the kids are still on the phones. The kids are still got all these. And they're allowing the kids to get out and go to the mall, not knowing what they're bringing back home because, I don't think people are taking it serious enough. I think most people, the reason they are so free with it and not willing to be masked up or wash their hands or whatever, and is because nobody that they can reach out and touch has died.
Right. There you go.
It's easy to read about somebody over in New York dying, or all these people over in California dying, all these people over. But if you're in a small little community or a little town and you don't hear about nothing happening to anybody in the general area, and even if you do, and it's still not somebody that's close, you feel like you're immune to it happening to you.
Right.
People don't. They take a lot for granted. And it's hard to tell the younger generation, hey, you're coming around, but you shouldn't be coming around because you have elderly people. They're not going to tell you not to come see them. They're not going to tell you not to come hug on them or whatever, but you should know better.
Right.
You're not being socially conscious about what you're doing, who you're being around, and you're just coming back in off of the street, going straight to them. Without thinking, the younger generation just feels they're invincible, and we all felt like that. But this new generation we got, oh my God, they are entitlement that's far worse than white entitlement, and that's some entitlement.
Exactly.
They are something, but and there's a lot of too that will say, well, whatever happens gonna happen. No, you can't take that attitude because what happens to you, you don't want it to happen to everybody else. So you let it happen to you by yourself.
Exactly.
It's crazy. But people are gonna do what people are gonna do, and some people are from the show me state. You gotta show them,
Yeah, they want you to show them, and when they get showed, then they don't want to get showed no more.
No, don't even want to take the blame. But
right.
I don't have to worry about. I'm saving a lot more money. That's one good thing.
Right.
I'm fine going to the store, buying an outfit to wear to a show, getting my nails done, getting my hair, getting different wigs, or getting my hair done in different styles, and that upkeep of being out there at the forefront, because it wasn't nothing for me to go in the store 2 and 3 times a week, even if I wasn't getting pants, because you can wear the obligatory black pants that most women got about 10 pair of, and shirts, or same with blue jeans, as long as you can wear the same pair of blue jeans the whole week, as long as you change a different shirt, but it's stuff like that it's like I don't have to worry about that no more. So I'm saving a lot of money being around and just going back to the simple stuff. And I'm looking at my nails saying my nails are weak, but they don't look that bad. And then you can go get really concerned about it. You can go get the Lee press-on nails or whatever,
Yeah, that's.
But I'm concerned because I'm not holding a microphone anywhere, It's just, and we finally started going back to church, but we're doing like the drive-in church where the pastor stands on the porch, and we sit in cars, and he gives the word. It don't usually take no more than about 20, 30 minutes. And we give our offering and we're gone, but eventually, I do miss my church family, but eventually I hope we get to the point where everybody can get back together and do this. But we got to learn that lesson, and some of us are not learning it. Some of us still get it.
Right. And we see now, since this is like a global situation, or even if it's not global, but you see now, like you said earlier, a lot of people are complaining about being stuck in the house, and some people it's really affecting them. Even to the point where it's like a mental illness state, and a lot of people, some people or children have even committed suicide, all kinds of things. And of course, I know this situation isn't affecting you in that way, but have you ever, been in a state like that before?
Well, yes. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's not affecting me. I mean, you miss the camaraderie. You miss the aspect of being free to just go do stuff. Take
right.
the kids to do stuff. I mean, you're stuck in the house with the kids. Well, stuck is a terrible word. You're at the house with the kids. They energy. They're hungry 24 hours a day, and you got to do your work, their work, and make sure they got something to eat. Make sure everything is done. And some of those people, they were away from their kids up to 12, 14 hours a day.
Right.
So you have to be with them 24 hours. 8 of them, they may be asleep, but they're used to their kids leaving about 6:30, between 6:30, getting back home if it's after school and all that, or they got sports or whatever, or they going their latchkey or whatever. They're not used to getting back with their kids till again around about 7 or 8 o'clock. 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Okay, so you're gonna feed them, make sure they get ready for bed, make sure they do their homework, they're asleep. You got all that time, whatever, and then the next day is the same thing on it. So the kids are gone like maybe 12 hours out of your day. Because even if you was at work, you still had 4 hours where you could do all the things you need to do. Run to the store, pick up something to eat, cook something to eat, whatever. Now, with 24-hour job, you realize, dang, my kids are bad. Now, this little joker will not sit down. He don't know this stuff for real.
Exactly.
2 times 2 is. I don't know why you keep saying 5. If you get 5. But the thing with mental illness, some people have different coping skills. It depends on how your mental makeup is. Some people are strong. I mean, the least little thing could cause somebody to break down. Some people, it takes a lot. Some people feel like they got to be strong for somebody else because that's all they know. You know, like, I always say this, that with comedians, we know how to make everybody else happy, but we don't know how to make ourselves happy. You know, a lot of comedians have crutches. By that I mean they got to have a drink, they got to have a smoke, or they got to do some kind of drug or something to give them that liquid courage to get up there and perform. You know, I don't drink, I don't smoke, but you know, some people, they can't function without getting up. I can understand how they can be addicted to certain things. Like I'm Pepsi. I try to break the habit. I you know, that's my, you know, my little not pet peeve. That's my little downfall. Trying to get off that Pepsi and whatever. But I did have a little run-in with mental issues, but it had nothing to do with, it was more about me not taking care of myself and not being able to get the adequate amount of sleep that I needed. With B-level comics, and B-level comics are comics that you know are out here working, but they're not the ones that you see all on any and everything on TV and advertisements or whatever. A-list comics are comics, Kevin Hart, you know, those kind of people. But anyway, most of the gigs that we would get, a lot of them didn't fly you in or send you any kind of transportation. It was on you to get to the gig. Right. So at this particular time, I would have a show in, say, Miami, and then in a day or so, I'd have to be maybe as far as New York. And, you know, I would be trying to drive myself, you know, getting from here to here and be there, get to the room, not have enough time, you know, just enough time to maybe get a hour nap or something like that, and get up, go do a show. And if you're the headliner, now you're sitting there waiting, because most of the time some shows wouldn't start on time, you know, and so you're sitting there waiting, and by the time you get on and get paid and get back to the hotel or get back to your car or whatever you had to go, you know, it's in the wee hours of the morning. With me, you know, I had to take something just to fall asleep, and you know, I would pop a to go to sleep. I would do like NyQuil gel caps, the pills that the Excedrin PM, those kind of pills that will sleep, you know. And but I wouldn't commit to the whole 8 hours or whatever it is that for the medicine to wear off. And my alarm would go off maybe like 3 or 4 hours later, and I get up and try to drive. And the whole time I'm driving, now I'm popping NoDoz, drinking Pepsi, eating chocolate, you know, trying to stay, you know. So it got to the point where my potassium dropped. Wow. And when potassium drops, two things will happen. You will start to hallucinate, or your heart will crash. Luckily, I started hallucinating. And I had a show when I flew back into Atlanta, and I'm sitting at my sister's house, and all I'm doing, I'm just talking out my head. I'm just, you know, just basically just rambling. She was like, something wrong. And I had a headache that I could not get rid of, no matter what I took. she was like, well, maybe you need to go get your blood pressure checked. And I'm like, I ain't nothing wrong with my blood pressure. I just need sleep. I just need whatever. So she finally convinced me. I go there, and I check my blood pressure, and I go up to the pharmacist thing, and this is what it said my blood pressure was. Is there something I can take? They was like, what? Excuse me, what did you just say? And I said, this is what it just said on that thing over there. So she told me to go over there and check it again. She came over with me, and it was like 100 and something over 100 and something. And she was like, suggest you go to the emergency room right now. And I was like, no, I'm fine. She was like, no, you are not fine. You need to go to the emergency room. So I go back out to the car, and I'm telling my sister, she was like, so do you want to go? No, I don't want to go to no emergency room. Just let me go home, get some sleep. Okay, so now I'm up and I'm just pacing, just still my head is pounding. So she, make a long story short, she finally takes me to the emergency room, and they run the test, and what happens is they said that I had high blood pressure, and there was something else they said I had. Oh, he gave me medicine for my anxiety, because my sister told she's boxing off the wall, she's doing this, talking all out her head. Okay, so the medicine he gave me was hydrochlorothiazide, which is the same as a water pill.
Right.
Okay, I wasn't big enough to be given a water pill. And he gave me Xanax. Okay, I took the Xanax, and it had me walking around feeling like I was floating, like the earth was coming up to meet me. It was just crazy. So I took all this medication for like a week. Okay, he had only given me like maybe 8 Xanax and the hydrochlorothiazide. Now the hydrochlorothiazide made you go to the bathroom.
Right.
I'm already depleted, I'm with my water, with my electrolytes and whatever, dehydration. So that made it worse. So now I got a show in Virginia, and I'm, taking this medication, and I was like, I can't function. I had one of my nieces go with me to help me drive. And I kept saying to her, I'm not feeling right. And she was like, you don't need to go. I got to go because it's the last minute, and, I ain't never missed a show before, all this stuff that came before my health. And one of my friends, I was talking to her, and she was like, go by the hospital and go see this particular nurse and tell her to take your blood pressure and whatever. She took my blood pressure. She was like, you don't need to go up that road. And I was like, I got to go up the road. I got to show. She was like, I'm telling you, you don't need to go up that road. She said, I'm obligated to put you in the hospital right now. She said, but telling me you're trying to go. She said, if I let you walk out of here without you going to the hospital, I could lose my job, whatever. I said, but nobody don't even know I'm here. She was like, that ain't got nothing to do with it. And she said, and then if something happens to you, I'm going to feel bad.
Right.
Okay. So I was like, she was like, we're going to give you something to bring your blood pressure down, but you don't need to get on that road. So she gave me whatever to take my blood pressure down, whatever. So we go back. I done told her I'm going to go home. I tell my niece, come on, we still going to go to Virginia. So she had, don't take any more of these Xanax pills.
Okay.
But I'm nervous now because I'm like trying to decide what I'm going to do. Am I going to listen to her? Am I going to go get this money? So I popped up one of the Xanax pills. And so my niece was like, did she just tell you not to take that pill? Girl, come on, drive, whatever. So we get as far as South Carolina. I said, I can't do it. I said, let's turn around and go back home. So she's driving me back home, and I could tell she's she's scared to death because I'm over in the corner just freaking out. I'm just touching my face, doing all. I'm saying like I'm a baseball ref, giving out or whatever. So we get back and she takes me to my sister. And my sister was like, "What's wrong with you? Whatever." And I was like, "I don't know. This headache won't go away. This, that." They take me to the hospital, and they put me on an IV drip because I'm that dehydrated. And they, she's telling me, "You better be glad you didn't go up the road. Whatever. Your body could have crashed. Whatever." Okay. All right. So I'm on that drip for like 8 hours. They send me home. For 2 days, I'm okay. That Sunday, I wake up and I'm telling everybody, I'm dead. I done died, y'all.
No.
It wasn't funny then, but it's funny. That's what my family won't let me forget it.
Right.
And I was like, I'm dead. Y'all might as well just go ahead and have a funeral. I done died. My daughter and my niece are crying because and my sister's trying to calm me down and my daughter's like, Lisa, please take her to the doctor. Please take her to the hospital. So we get to the hospital. And the people, so they got me in there, and my daughter's afraid to come in, right? So when they got me back in the emergency room, and I'm trying to keep the people from giving me the IV and doing all kinds of stuff, saying the nurse trying to kill me. So the doctor comes in and tells them to give me Geodon. Geodon is a medication that is used for schizophrenics.
Oh.
So it calms me down. All right. And, all right, so they finally get me in a room, and I sleep like maybe about 18 hours. So when I wake up, it was like a day and a half later. It was like that Tuesday because I went in on that Sunday evening. I didn't wake up till like that Monday night, and then the doctor came in to talk to me, and he's in there telling me how I had a nervous breakdown and this and that, and I'm like, I didn't have no nervous breakdown. All I needed was sleep.
Right.
And he was like, no, this is that and that, and he done convinced my family that this is what's going on. And so he ended up convincing them to put me into a sanitarium. And I'm busy trying to tell them, no. So my youngest sister was stationed overseas, and she called me on the phone, and she was like, Barbara, what's going on? So I said, Linda, this is what happened. I was, taking this medicine and this and that and that. I said, but now that I've gotten a lot of sleep, I feel so much better. But every time they give me this Geodon pill, I start freaking back out again,
Right.
And so I'm trying to tell them stop giving me this pill, but they're trying to push it, and they're forcing me to take the pill. So she was like, well, she was over in Qatar. So she says, I'm going to fly in and see what's going on. Good thing she did, because they were about to send my butt to Milledgeville. Now, Milledgeville is one of the places or the place in Augusta that you really don't want to go, because when you go to those kind of places, by hook or crook, you're going to take that, whatever medication. There ain't no, I don't want to take it. They don't give you a choice. You're going to take it,
Right.
She says, okay, well, if she has to go, we're going to put her in a private place, which is what they're going to do, what they ended up doing. So I went to this place. I went to, it was called Focus, Charter by the Sea in St. Simon's Island. And I'm there the whole week, and I'm getting a lot of, now, just before they came and got me after signing the paperwork, the lady came in and gave me 2 Geodon.
Mm.
I'm in the car trying to kick the windows out the car. I'm freaking out in the back. And my cousin, who they had left to sit with me until they went back to get the paperwork and whatever, she was like, she was doing all right. We sitting here talking and doing all this. And the people came in here. I don't know what that nurse gave her, but she wasn't acting like this. And the lady came and woke me up and gave me the stuff. Because I still had no idea they were about to go take me off.
Right,
so,
right.
Time we got down there, man, I was doing all kind of craziness. I guess they said, well, in order to go to crazy house, she gonna have to look like she crazy. So
basically.
yeah. So for 2 days I was on suicide watch. I don't know why, because I wasn't even thinking about trying to kill myself. But man, I was in there. I was there for. This was like coming up to it. I went in on December 26th, and I was there for a week. Yeah, a week. No, I got out of there on December 26th, out of the hospital. I was in the hospital for a week, and then they sent me to this place for a week until after New Year's Eve, and they let me come back home. But what happened was now I have gotten a lot more sleep, and
right.
I'm able to relate to them. Hey, all this stuff they're giving me is what's affecting my body.
Right.
I was the kind of person, I didn't take any kind of medication except what I told you, the stuff I would take to fall asleep and the stuff I would take to stay up. So it ended up I was allergic to the hydrochlorothiazide, and I was allergic to Xanax. So now, when my sister when they asked them at the hospital that Sunday when they went, what happened, they said she took a lot of Xanax. They wrote it up as I took all 8 of the Xanax at one time.
Oh, okay.
So all of this misleading stuff that they're writing up is making me look like, oh, well, she's this, she's that, she's delusional, whatever, but it's all this stuff on top of this stuff on top of this stuff.
Right. And nobody is clearing nothing up.
Nobody's listening to me but my sister. But I still ended up having to go there. So, like I said, at Focus, they would give you the choice of whether you would take the medicine or not. Because now they had not only taken me off of the hydrochlorothiazide, and they put me on Norvasc, and I ain't taking no Xanax or the Geodon, because they was like, why did they even give you Geodon? And so they're giving me Abilify, and it was like, it's just level out your emotions, whatever. So I'm in there for that. We had to go to different little group sessions to talk about what all we were going through and whatever. But, the medicine they were giving me, I was taking it. And then one day I just woke up and something said, don't take that medicine anymore. So I started refusing it. And, and I was getting stronger and whatever. And, I was only in there for a week. And I came home and I was hosting a weekly room in Hinesville, Georgia, Fat Cat.
Okay.
And I was gone from December to around Valentine's Day, and before I was strong enough to go back to doing comedy. So for between December and February, I was out of my element. And I can understand how people can fall victim to being depressed and not knowing, because them not listening to me and me not being able to express myself and being told that I got to do this and do that and somebody else is over your well-being, it could be pretty frustrating.
Right.
And then you get to something where if you don't take if you're not, I ain't gonna say take things into your own hands, that you become accustomed to taking this medicine, and if it gets in your system enough, you become dependent on it.
Mm-hmm.
To the point, I think it gets to the point where you can't do without it. And I think a lot of people are over medicated. What the people say is wrong with them may not be exactly what's wrong with them. Because for me, I realized all I needed was sleep. Right. I mean, I'm running up and down the road, doing all this driving, going to commit to doing the show, go back and lay down for a couple of hours, get up and do the same thing, and all the time I'm not eating healthily. I'm consuming buffalo wings.
Right.
Not really drinking no water or anything, not really taking care of myself. I'm just, but mental illness is, man, and I think with the Black community, we want to tell, it's like taboo to us.
It definitely is, up until now, a little.
Well, no, it's still very prevalent. It's hard for people to admit because people are still self-medicating.
Right, that's true.
Look how many young people are vaping and doing the what's the new thing now? The cannabis.
Yeah.
Oil and the hookah. I mean, they're stuck on the opiates.
Oh yeah.
And people don't know how to cope anymore because we don't have anybody to really be an example for what is and isn't. They see the people of their generation who are making it, and all of these people are looking strung out and saying how cool it looks to be vaping and doing this and that, and these are the people they have to emulate. Right. Let's say back when we had the flower child and this and that, and they had all the things they had where everybody was on the mushrooms and everybody was this. Then you had that was consumed with the reefer and whatever. And then you come on to crack, and then crack elevated cocaine, and then cocaine turned into what? Opium or the thing they put in their own. What's the drug that was so prevalent and everybody was putting it in, shooting it in their arms?
Not the meth.
Yeah, no, not crystal meth. Whatever it was. Rich Pryor was doing it, and all these other people, whatever. Well, they was melting the stuff down and putting it in their arms, whatever. And then men go into the pain pills, and people get hooked, and it's just. It's so much going on and so much happening. Kids can't even be kids anymore. You got kids. It was different back during my mother's generation or something like that, where kids were more responsible. Like our grandparents, they were cooking for the whole family at 9 years old, 8 years old. They had to learn how to work. They had a good work ethic. And, then that their kids were the ones they said, I don't want you to work like I worked in the fields or whatever. I want you to get an education. You go be a teacher, a lawyer, something like that, a doctor. And that happened. Right. Then our generation came along, which was, the generation of going to college. Everybody was proud of the first one that went off to college, and everybody was supposed to go to get a good job. Now, you come to the generation of college is just a waste of money. All you come out of college is the high bill that you got to pay, student loans. The kids got the degrees, but they can't find jobs.
At all.
So it gets to be depressing when you've done everything you're supposed to do and you still just can't get ahead. And we are part of this entitlement thing because we decided when we were little, I'm going to make sure if I have any kids, they going to get everything they want.
That's exactly what it was.
Wrong answer. We have created some little monsters. The good thing about them is when it comes to wrong, they don't stick together. They don't care about white, whatever. That color don't matter. If it's something where they feel like you wrong and you wrong,
okay,
they're going to our leaders, and they have what is needed to get us to the place where we need to be. But so many of them are so confused with all this that's going on that they can't see straight. They from that generation of I wish a mother would.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm telling you,
they're not going to let you run over them. But they're so young in their thinking. Their leadership is coming from this desire of, I'm gonna get what I want, whatever it's gonna take. I'm gonna get what I think I deserve to have. But by the token, I still need you to help me get through this. Because they'll have a baby in a minute. They got grown bodies and grown whatever, but their little minds, some of them are just wow out here. But yeah, I've had my little run in with being, and I know what it's like, that the stigma of somebody knowing that, oh well, she had a breakdown, or she had this, or she had that, and it's somewhat of an embarrassment to some people or whatever, but sometimes things happen to make us stop and reassess. Because sometimes we get too confident. We get to the point where we think we got all the answers, or we got everything we need. Right. Like I was at Desert Storm, and you're worried about if you're gonna make it back home. You're a reservist. You ain't really learned anything about being at war.
That's true.
Gotta fight like the normal people. All you used to doing is being a soldier on the weekend, one weekend a month at that. So now you're over in a land with your weapon, having to defend the country, and it's like, what did we learn? We don't know how to fight, but so. And when I was over there, I was like, man, I'm into the Bible. And I was like, Lord, if you just get me back home, I'll be in church. I'll do this. Yeah, and you start off doing that when you get back. And then you gradually go back to, oh, well, I got time. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. I got to go do this.
Right,
and I think, God had to shake us up and let us realize, hey, I'm gonna slow y'all down. I'm gonna allow this to happen, so y'all gonna have to. And some of us still don't get,
Yeah, but they gotta learn sooner or later.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like I'm trying to say everybody got to follow an organized religion or, you pray to whoever you want to pray to. But in the end, I don't care what anybody say. When it gets down to the and ain't nothing else that can happen and you scared to death, you going to say, oh, Lord.
That's right.
You're going to say it. Nobody might not hear you say it. You might just think it in your mind. But all of a sudden, the only thing that matters is you surviving. You ain't say, oh, doctor.
Okay.
You asking everybody and their mama to pray for you. But if I had any kind of advice to give to anybody, it's, I'm the worst person in the world to tell somebody, don't get hooked on this or don't get hooked on that. Like I say, I'm hooked on the Pepsi. But
right.
Take stock of what is important. Because, like I'll be 62 in August. And it took me between 30 and 62 to really try to think about more than just me being a comic.
Right.
There's something else out there that I was given this talent to reach people, but I gotta have a message in what I'm reaching them with. And no matter how much you try to escape what your true calling is, it's gonna bring you back to what you're really supposed to be doing.
Oh yeah.
And people not gonna understand. People don't care to understand. But you have to know that, hey, it's more out there than whatever it is. Maybe, okay, God says to you, I'll let you do it your way for the longest. Now it's time for you to do it my way.
That's right.
You're going to do it, or I take my hands off of you. Just like your mama tell you, oh, you grown. You get your stuff and get out my house. When that reality hits you, then it's like, dang, mama finna put me on. I don't think I'm going to get my stuff together. But some of us will say, well, I'm going to get out your house. And it's nowhere to go.
That's right. And if they do get out and they see it's not what they think it is, then they call back sooner or later.
No, this grown ain't what I thought it was. Yeah.
You done got on that limb, and it ain't what you thought it was now.
It sure ain't. It's something called reality out. And that's the only
I'm
check
telling you.
You don't get no other check. You ain't going to get no payroll check. You're going to get a reality check.
I know that's right.
You can't cash that one. No matter where you turn. Your friends only going to put up with you. Your other family members don't say, oh, you ain't finna come over here and do this, that, or the other.
Exactly. They got rules for you. It ain't like at home.
And some people do get out there, but they still have a aha moment. That's what it's called. Aha. This was what they were trying to tell me. But,
there you go.
Yeah.
But in the midst of all this, situation going on, and your career and everything, what are you looking forward to now? I mean, of course, once this virus situation is over.
Well, I'm working on a few projects, trying to get on, some kind of streaming kind of platform or whatever. And of course, I would like to do a special, but if it's not in the cards, it's not in the cards.
Okay.
I want to get back out and do the stand up because that's where I'm comfortable. I think I'd have a much better perspective on how I relate to people, and what I want to leave them with. And
right.
But I just want, I'm like everybody else. I want this pandemic to be a thing of the past, but there's just a little nagging in my soul that says we will never be what it was.
Right.
It's either gonna have to get better or it's gonna get worse. And
yeah,
the call to people is, time out for hating on each other and trying to compete, because that's what it's all about. Everybody's trying to see who can make the most money, who can spend the most, who can do this and who can do that, when all we got to do is just survive, man. Else we're not going to have anything. I mean, you can have all the money in the world. This virus ain't playing. Now, if you get that, you might have enough money to make sure you get a ventilator. Make sure you get the best doctors or whatever, but it's not discriminating.
At all, and they got to understand, or not they, but we all have to understand that without your health, you don't have nothing.
Nothing.
I can have all the millions, the billions, but guess what? If I'm dead, it don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah. If you laying in a sick bed, it don't mean nothing to you, because somebody's plotting on how to get your money.
You better believe it.
Remember to get it. Don't the state get it?
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, you amass all this. You can't take it with you. It ain't gonna fit in that grave. It ain't gonna even fit in an urn.
It sure ain't.
What you earn won't fit in an urn. Ain't that something?
That's something. That's a good one. I'm about to use that.
They ain't gonna burn that money up. They're gonna take that money with them. They ain't gonna burn it up.
They might burn you up, but they ain't burning that up.
No. You gonna be 6 feet under. They ain't gonna put no money down there with you. I'm
telling you. So they gonna say they got to pay all kind of bills.
Yeah, I always wondered why people would bury like jewelry and all that kind of stuff with people. Like they gonna go up to heaven and be showing off their wedding ring and
right. And some of them be thinking I ought to go dig them up and get it back.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk around heaven, putting my Stacy Adams. Life is fun.
Oh boy. Oh no, that was a good one there.
That's a little something.
That was a good one. Yeah, I told you I'm gonna have to use that urn. I'm gonna have to use that later on Facebook. Watch, they're gonna say, "Oh,
that's your catchphrase."
Okay. Oh boy. Well, Ms. Barbara, I want to thank you so much for allowing us to have this displayed to the world so that people can see just some of who you or what you are as a person, just because they might not have known before. And, you telling jokes all the time doesn't necessarily mean that's your actual life or, that's how you are all the time. Of course, we might get on stage and we might cuss all day long, but it don't mean we don't love God when we go home.
Yeah.
So just I thank you so much for allowing people that much. And again, did you have any final words that you want to leave for people?
Well, I just want people to know that every day above ground, as one of my male counterparts would say, preacher man, Every day around is a good day. And
that's right.
You know, when you're given the opportunity to get it right and you don't take the opportunity, I mean, you take away something from yourself. And I'm not just speaking to everybody else, I'm speaking to myself too. This time is a time to reflect. A time, I mean, if you got little kids, you can be concerned about their souls and what's going to happen with them and whatever. But, you know, the first person you got to be concerned about is yourself. And when you can get yourself right and do what is ordained for you to do, then everything work in your favor. I mean, and it doesn't have to be that you be rich, because, you know, money, as they say, is the root of all evil. And we have seen big old roots lately, you know. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity to allow people to know the real Barbara Carlyle, not the one that gets up there and, you know, talks much trash or whatever. But and if I just happen to make somebody laugh and make them forget their worries for at least an hour or 15, 20 minutes that they listen to me, then I think I've done a pretty good job. But if I haven't,
absolutely,
I hope to have plenty more times to get it right.
All right. Sounds good to me. No problem at all. And ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, none other than Miss Barbara Carlyle herself.
Yep, Barbara Ann.